new password, nothing works. I have no clue.
You're gonna
And again,
have
Hakomi
Get back in. We want you there.
I'm trying. So the conference this year. First of all, look, I'll start with the conference last year. It was very, very important for me to have this conference last year, and everyone thought I was crazy because I put it together in 3 weeks.
Wow.
3 weeks, this huge conference, and why did I want to do it last year? Because there was a topic that is not being discussed. It's still hardly being discussed, but it's a little more out there than it was last year. And this is in June 2023, right? This is before the October 7th Simchat Torah massacre. And the issue was unmasking the anti-Semitism behind the Palestinian national movement.
Wow.
Because I've been talking for years how this whole thing called Palestine, it's one big blood libel. It's the biggest blood libel in all of Jewish history, where you have Jews being attacked all over the world. They don't even know history, and yet they're attacking people because they think they're socially virtuous, saying, oh, I believe in Palestine, and hence I hate Israel, and hence I hate the Jew, and hence I'll attack a Jew in the streets of London or Los Angeles, New York. Total anti-Semitism. People don't understand the second you accept the two-state solution, you are anti-Semitic. Jews are allowing the growth of anti-Semitism by supporting the two-state solution. Like, people don't understand it. Once you say you believe in the two-state solution, that means Palestinians exist. That means that Jews are occupiers in our ancestral homeland. Boom. That's it. So that's what the conference was last year.
And I remember it was very clear.
Yeah.
You had some real experts on it.
Yeah, unbelievable. Really powerful.
That's the thing. It's factual.
Yeah.
It's not like this. I don't know if anyone heard what Biden, Manis Friedman picked up on it, that he said that the idea that we're truth, we're not facts, which is like, what is that?
That's what he said.
Yeah, that just shows you how it's all just based on nonsense.
It tells you it's all a spiritual
world.
It
goes to show you where the U.S. and the world in general
truth
is
and
right
facts
now.
go together.
No, my truth, meaning my feelings, are more important than your facts.
Right. Fact is, the Jewish people are ancestral, indigenous people to the land of Israel. Nothing to argue with. So basically that was last year. And this year we thought, all right, let's go. We're now in the middle of this war. And it's funny because this year we started earlier. So we started 2.5 months before, not 3 weeks before, right? So we had no clue what was going to be 2.5 months ago when trying to think of what the title, what the subject of the conference would be. But I figured the war's still going to be going on. What I like to tell people, and I said this at the conference, is that this isn't the Gaza war. It's not a new war. This is the 77th year of the War of Independence in 1948. All right, and that's what Jews have to switch their minds. Like, we don't have enough leaders telling us the truth about what we're going through. Thinking like, oh, that war's over, and now we're back to normal, and now we can have peace with our neighbors. No, we're in an existential war. It's a religious war. We're surrounded by hundreds of millions, if not billions, of Arab Muslims who want to destroy us and kill us out of a religious desire because they believe it. That's what they're told in the Quran. That's what it's about. Hence, we're in the 77th war of the War of Independence. Never ended. They just changed their names and whatever entities of who they are officially. So this year, we said, you know what? We're going to talk about next steps. I want to give people the hope about moving forward, even though we're in this war after what happened to us, the biggest tragedy, the biggest massacre to the Jewish people in the land of Israel since the Holocaust. So the conference was focused on next steps, putting together Israel's roadmap to true independence. Why true independence? Well, independence because, one, we're not truly independent. Look, we can't fight this war. We're 9 months into this war, and our hands are tied behind our backs. America, U.S. administration, today's U.S. administration is tying our hands behind our backs, withholding weapons. We're in an existential war, and our biggest ally is withholding weapons from us. They're not letting us fight properly. We're not able to win. They're not letting us to take land. The only way you win a war is by taking land away from the enemy. We should have been setting up new communities in the Gaza Strip months ago. Besides our politicians saying, "Oh no, we can't resettle the Gaza Strip, and we have to let them have self-rule there again," even though we all know that means that Hamas, Islamic Jihad, or the kafir-loving teddy bear lovers, whatever new names they come up to call themselves, are going to be in charge there and continue trying to kill us. So we all know eventually we're going to be there forever and resettling, and my children know we're going to have homes on the beaches of Gush Katif.
Yeah,
we're going to be there. It's inevitable.
Getting a dira for
right.
Your mum.
If you're a realist, you know that's the only solution, which we spoke about at the conference as well. But the world is stopping us from doing it, making us look as if we're evil and having our politicians look afraid of saying what needs to be done. So we're in an existential war where the world is against us and stopping us.
Well, talking about the world being against us, I just want to throw in, like, say Michael Rapaport came, which is a big deal.
Right, we gave him an award, right.
And so someone like on that level who really, from what I understood, was a Democrat at one point, and which generally was a bit more in the middle maybe, or maybe I don't know, it's complicated what it was. But we know now what
Well, the Democrats of today aren't necessarily aren't
aren't the
nearly
same.
what they were back in the day.
But nevertheless, I don't think he was as strong about Israel and pride and as he is now. So how did it manifest at the conference? How did he give over there?
Well, actually, after here, I'm going to be on my way to my studio in Jerusalem to interview him and get him to talk his story.
So you've got to go watch the full interview there. But can you just
Yeah.
give us a little insight what he said at the actual conference?
It's very simple. I mean,
Without dropping the F-bombs that he dropped.
yeah, no, but I have to say, I mean, when we reached out to him to give him the award for the conference, and we just asked very politely if it would be okay for him to speak without those colorful words. He was totally fine. Like,
Cool.
he's totally respectful. He knows how to talk to different audiences. He has a certain public persona.
Yeah.
But he's such Michael Rapaport. If you're watching this, you are such a mensch. He's such a down to earth guy, and he is searching for his Jewish identity. October 7th woke him up, and him together with his wife are on a journey. They're on their Jewish journey right now. This is now their 4th time visiting Israel since
awesome.
October 7th.
It's amazing.
He was never in Israel before October 7th.
So based on you, because you're traveling a lot, you're going to the US, you're doing conferences, and if anyone wants to reach out direct to Avi or myself or Unity Bookings. I'm always happy to assist and
Sure, yes,
get
please.
events going. That's part of what we want to get your name out even more, so that when you're in America, you can be even more effective in your outreach with these truth and with facts and emunah. But are people accessing that last point, the emunah aspect? Are they connecting October 7th to more emunah in Hashem, more emunah in Torah, more emunah in Eretz Yisrael, more emunah in themselves? Is it manifesting? Because we're hoping it is. That's what the real kindness. We believe kindness comes together with the Torah and emunah. Yosef's very strong in pushing that. Do you feel?
To me, and if I can interject for a second, to me, and this is why I wore this shirt today, I think the way to gain emunah is to be grateful. Like, I was at dinner last night with a couple of friends, and they're like, where was God, October 7th? And that they're looking at it in that way. And I was just like, can I just flip it on you for a second? Let me just flip it on you in a second and say, since the existence of the state of Israel, every single second that we've been living here is a miracle. It's an absolute miracle. The fact that we live here in Efrat, and we have an unbelievable Kitat Konenut, and they're awesome, but if 200 of those cockroaches in Bethlehem decide that they want to come and do whatever, it's a miracle every single day. The fact that we actually exist within the neighboring Arab countries is an absolute miracle. So where was God? He was right there. Where were we?
I like to say that there are 2 main proofs that God exists. This is for anyone, Jew or non-Jew alike. Proof number 1, that the Jewish people exist. There's no rational explanation for how the Jewish people exist after 2,000 plus years of continuous exile and persecution. No rational explanations, only because God wants us to be here. Hence, we're proof that God exists. Proof number 2 is that the modern Jewish state of Israel, again, which is, while 76 years young, it's really 3,500 years old, that we exist. Because, again, I reiterate all the time the point you just said, we're a daily miracle. Every day that we exist.
We're a secondly miracle. Like,
right. And we're proof that God exists, right? And then what I tell people when they focus on that, I'm like, guys, you're human. You're using your 5 senses to understand reality. God is above time. Just take a step back as a parent, right? As a parent, sometimes, and again, I'm not using exact analogy here, but sometimes as a parent, we're not always the best towards our kids, or the best as our kids want us to act towards them. Our kids think we're angry at them. Our kids think we're punishing them. We as parents understand we're doing what we think is best. We see the long picture of the child's life. So we, in our limited human understanding of reality, see what we see as good, as bad, and things that look horrible. How could God do this? God's looking, he's timeless. God is timeless, right? And everything is, and there's a processes that take place, and sometimes bad things are part of the processes in order to bring good things along. So I'm a big believer, like we started talking about evil, because you asked, did God create evil? God created free will so that man can do evil. right? So bad things happen, but in the long scheme of things, we have to take ourselves out of the five senses, very limited human ability of understanding reality and understanding God, and say, wait a second, I'm a believer. I believe everything's for the best. I believe God is leading us to a time for us to take responsibility and be part of the process to bring the redemption, bring the Geula, have Mashiach come, which is partly Jews coming and living in Israel to be part of that process. And unfortunately, we Jews have to wake up sometimes, and sometimes bad things are necessary in order for us to wake up, and it's part of a long process, and you have to hold on and strengthen your emunah, and not to look at the bad. And again, I'm all for being upset at HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right, you could be mad at HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Something, things happen, be mad.
That's a
Be
relationship.
mad.
Yeah.
Right, that's a relationship. You have a spouse, husband, wife. Sometimes you're mad at each other. That shouldn't take it away from your love and your commitment to continue working together to make a better life together for the two of you, for your family, for your greater community, for humanity. So same thing with God. Every once in a while, be mad when something upsets you, but don't take your eye off of the ball, which is the bigger picture and the process we're going through as a Jew, as the Jewish community, as the Jewish people in Israel, and as humanity towards bringing the Geula. So that's how I tell people to look towards
beautiful.
at
Beautiful.
October 7th or tragedies. And then to answer your question specifically about